Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dr. Craig Monk, Provost and Vice President Academic here at MacEwan University. It's my pleasure to welcome you to Powered by Place, President and Vice-Chancellor Dr. Annette Trimbee's 2023 State of the University Address. I'll be your MC for this event, but first, I'd like to take time to acknowledge that the land on which we gather in Treaty 6 territory is the traditional gathering place for many Indigenous people. We honor and respect the history, languages, ceremonies, and culture of the First Nations, Métis, and Inuit who call this territory home. The First Peoples' connection to the land teaches us about our inherent responsibility to protect and respect Mother Earth. With this acknowledgement, we honor the ancestors and children who have been buried here, missing and murdered Indigenous women and men, and the process of ongoing collective healing for all human beings. We are reminded that we are all treaty people and of the responsibility we have to one another. We are fortunate to have knowledge keeper George Desjardins from the Kinawaxton Indigenous Center here at MacEwan join us this afternoon to offer an opening prayer. Protocol was offered in advance.
Danse kakio. I'm very thankful that I was offered tobacco to speak today for you all. We all pray in our own ways, and I was always taught to respect other ways of faith, and when someone is praying, to pray along with them, because one of us will be heard. My late father always taught me to pray each day in the morning and when we would sit down for supper, and also before we went to bed at night. And I was probably about 16 or 17 when I finally got the courage to ask my dad, "Why do you pray so much?" And he told me, "Maybe today is my day to be heard." And I always teach that to my children. Bekano em nan ni kakio e wasaga te pia homa. Ego mina kakio e pitiwa tat homa kiskina matoga mik. So em nan I witsi kamo nan tato kisaga o aski. Ego mina kakio e pitiwa e mami guap. Egua kakio e atuskit uta kiskina matoga mik. So em nan tato kisaga mamo atuskan. Ego mina mio atuskan. So imnan, kano imnan, sagi tok mina witsitok, exam, hai.
Thank you so much, Knowledge Keeper George Desjardins, for beginning our time together today in a good way. Reflecting on our relationship with the land and grounding ourselves in that relationship as we continue to grow is critical to the theme of Dr. Trimbee's State of the University Address. Powered by Place, we hope, offers tribute to the land on which MacEwan University sits and the ways in which the incredible things that happen within the 7 city blocks of our campus extend out into the Ward O'Damon and far beyond. I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge several special guests who are joining us today. Members of our Board of Governors sitting down front, Honorary Doctorate recipient Dr. Lauren Gladue, Doctor, members of our MacEwan Means Business Campaign Cabinet, and Board Chair of the Northern Alberta Institute of Technology, Yasmin Girov. Well, you didn't come to listen to me all afternoon. Dr. Annette Trimbee, MacEwan University's President and Vice-Chancellor, will join us in a few moments, but first, please enjoy a look at this exceptional place which powers us all.
I managed to hop on stage before it ended, just in case I tripped. No, we joke about that. It's kind of a high step. Anyways, that was an incredible video. I recognize a lot of familiar faces. Tony, where are you, Tony? But anyways, that was great. What an incredible way to start this event. We really do have a beautiful campus, don't we? I want to thank you, Craig, and I want to welcome everyone. Like I said, it's such a pleasure to see people together here in this, one of my favorite places on MacEwan's campus. So speaking of our campus, the city is our campus. 50 years ago, those were the words used to describe MacEwan, which at the time was just coming to life as a small community college. I'm not sure if the college's first president, John Haar, imagined just how prescient and enduring his words would be. Over the last 50 years, MacEwan, the Edmonton College, evolved from its humble beginnings in an old high school and a former grocery store into MacEwan University, Edmonton's downtown university. Our name has changed a few times. Students have graduated, over 80,000 of them. Programs have evolved. Our campus has developed. Challenges have been overcome. Achievements celebrated. We need to do more of that. And we have proudly grown into an exceptional undergraduate university in Alberta and indeed Canada. I feel we are at a watershed moment in our history as an institution, one where we are stepping more fully into our place, embracing our strengths and challenging ourselves to take MacEwan even further. Where we were once humble, we now challenge ourselves to be bold and unapologetically MacEwan. We celebrate our achievements more enthusiastically. We have undertaken an ambitious plan to build a new School of Business building, a plan which garnered $125 million in support from the provincial government. We are more courageous and confident in who we are and in the important role we play in this place and in our community. Our students are active in addressing real-world problems through work-integrated learning and a personal dedication to making our community better. We are not standing still, but are driving MacEwan forward in a state of perpetual motion. We are educating the next generation of leaders who will grow and enhance our community. We support business and industry through the development of graduates ready to hit the ground running. We partner with community to contribute our expertise and ideas to address pressing and emerging issues that impact all of us. We are actively contributing to the revitalization of downtown and the growth and development of our city, our province, and beyond. We are doing things differently than many post-secondary institutions, and we're proud of that. We are nimble, flexible, well-rounded, and responsive. I'm encouraged by this enhanced confidence. We have an important role to play in our community, and I'm excited to see all of us, students, faculty, and staff, embrace that. What has stayed constant over more than 50 years at MacEwan is the understanding that the city is indeed our campus. It's at this place, in this city, on this ground, that we continue to forge our legacy. And in return, MacEwan University, through the work we do, the students who fill our classrooms, the faculty with their passion and knowledge to share, has shaped and influenced our city, our province, and beyond. We are truly powered by our place in the center of Edmonton. MacEwan students, faculty, and staff are not the first to study, learn, innovate, and collaborate on this land. Indigenous people have been coming to this place to meet and trade since time immemorial. More recently, settlers, new Canadians, and others have gathered here, attracted by abundant resources, flowing waterways, fertile ground, and a sense of opportunity that makes Edmonton unique. Their steps, their achievements, and their challenges have established the foundation upon which MacEwan's story continues to grow and evolve. Train tracks, the remnants of which lay beneath our campus from one end to the other, brought people and prosperity to Edmonton. People focused on a fresh start, the promise of community and economic advancement. People eager to make this place their home. Those same tracks also delivered challenges. Newcomers to this place made decisions which at times had a devastating impact on the Indigenous peoples who lived and thrived here. We must respect and address those experiences and recognize our responsibility to support all reconciliation efforts, economic, social, and personal. While the train tracks are gone, MacEwan continues to bring people to this place, each with their own story, their own goals, their own dreams and ambitions. Our strategic vision, Teaching Greatness, includes a focus on place. The idea of place extends beyond the physical to include meaningful connections, relationships, supports for students outside the classroom. It includes collaboration with the community and honoring the space our university holds in the heart of the city within the ward O'Damon. Students are at the heart of Teaching Greatness, and word of that is definitely getting around. In our fall and winter terms, an average of 20,000 students, staff, and faculty come downtown to MacEwan University every day. They come to learn, to teach, to aspire, and understand their place as leaders and community builders. Last year, we welcomed just over 12,500 full-time equivalent students to campus. We are experiencing incredible growth in our student body, some of the highest increases in our history, and we're not done yet. We are on track to achieve our goal of 14,200 in 2025 and 20,000 in 2023. Now, full load equivalents, what is that? I mean, I prefer to talk about people. So 20,000 full load equivalents is about 30,000 unique students, because not everybody is here full time. This growth speaks to MacEwan's strength in providing the programs and credentials that employers want and students want. This next direction I really like. We are intentionally smashing the calendar, literally and figuratively. We know students want flexibility, and our world is too complex to remain rigid in what we offer and how we offer it. Many of our students arrive, depart, and then arrive again, assembling a unique package of knowledge, experience, and skills to drive their future forward. MacEwan students can put together the building blocks to a creative, multidisciplinary education that they can't get anywhere else. This place really is special. Every university president says that, but I say it, I mean it, I mean it, I mean it. It really is. You know, and we're not focused on growth just for growth's sake. We're building on our strengths, picking our spots carefully, meeting the needs of our community, and increasing our impact. Our campus is stunningly beautiful. I know that. I tour a lot of people around. It's also well used. I know that. I walk the halls. It's kind of full. It's incredibly vibrant. I know that. I mean, there were students on the front lawn playing cricket with tennis balls. It's a cool place to be, and I'm so excited that our physical space will continue to grow. As I noted earlier, we are celebrating this $125 million commitment from the province, and this new building space will welcome 7,500 additional students to our campus when it opens in 2027, contributing to the revitalization of Edmonton's core and elevating our impact in community. And as you know, this doesn't just have benefits for students enrolled in business, it has ripple effects all across campus. It will allow us to enhance our science offerings in our science physical space. So now we're going to take a few minutes because we made a super cool video about what this fabulous building will look like when it's complete. So if you're the kind of person who gets dizzy, I'm not sure what you should do. But we're going to be flying, so enjoy. kind of wild, eh? I don't know about you, but I enjoyed flying up the stairs. So it's pretty impressive, gets people excited. I know people around behind me were picking their offices, but I don't know who's going to sort that out. Maureen, you're going to have a lot of fun with the provost and everybody here sorting that all out. We're really excited to get shovels in the ground next spring and see the new building take its place in O'Daymon. Bolstered by the provincial funding, we're now focused on the MacEwan Means Business fundraising campaign. I noticed a theater that didn't have a name. No, just, anyway. You know what, and we're very fortunate to have a highly engaged campaign cabinet of senior business and community leaders, including our co-chairs, John Day and Rob Seidel, who have volunteered to steer this campaign. This remarkable group of volunteers believes in MacEwan and this project enough that they are dedicating their time and talent to make it a reality. They're donating their time, and we're very grateful for their support. They have lots of pressures on them, and they've been incredibly good to all of us. You know, this new building is going to be one of the most dramatic additions to downtown Edmonton, and couldn't downtown Edmonton use a little drama? Yeah. I know early days when I started to talk about it, I had a few people I talked to, and they said, make sure if you're going to build anything, it's beautiful. Anyways, I think it will be beautiful. So our goal is to raise another $25 million. And I want to note that just last month, we celebrated a gift of $250,000 from the Boucher Group. They are Canada's largest private Indigenous company, and their donation recognizes the integral role that MacEwan plays in developing future leaders in our contribution to the economic development of the capital region, not just Edmonton, all around us, and northern Alberta. So we are so thankful for this generous gift, and I can't wait to celebrate more as the campaign continues. The support of our donors has seen steady growth. In addition to supporting MacEwan Means Business, other donors are supporting other priorities, including student supports, scholarships, bursaries, research initiatives, the Centre for Sexual and Gender Diversity, and the Distinguished Visiting Artist in Country Music Program. In case you didn't know that, we have a country music program. So MacEwan students have received $8.2 million in financial support last year through 1,500 scholarships, more than 2,200 bursaries, and over 1,300 awards. These numbers, while impressive, are more meaningful when you appreciate that these gifts impact individual students directly, some of whom who would not be able to even contemplate coming to post-secondary without these awards, scholarships, and bursaries. Our donors and their gifts truly open doors for students, and we are grateful. Many of our donors also work and teach here. Many of those are here, and you interact directly with our students and understand their needs. And I can tell you, it's a lot easier for me to talk to outside members about donating to MacEwan when I can say our own people here every day donate generously. So I'm very proud that our staff and faculty choose to support these important campaigns. So a tremendous thank you to everyone who has gone above and beyond in supporting the students we serve. Many of you are here. You are inspiring and truly a credit to the MacEwan community. A round of applause. And I know I don't thank you enough. Nobody can thank you enough. Your motivations are internal. It's important for us to celebrate you individually and collectively. So we speak about the impact MacEwan has on the community around us, but we have to be careful that, we don't forget the impact the community has on us. It's a two-way street. On a regular basis, our community comes to us with real-life issues to explore and opportunities to engage, collaborate, and build relationships beyond the classroom. We playfully call this Grand as a Griffin, attracting community organizations, businesses, and industries eager to partner with us. In many cases, it's MacEwan's work-integrated learning and community-engaged learning programs that nurture these collaborations. MacEwan students are eager to engage and make a difference in the community, and our faculty and staff are ready to help them find meaningful opportunities that add value to their student experience. In just last year alone, 5,100 work-integrated learning placements were available to MacEwan students. These opportunities allow students to contribute their skills and passions to tackle real-world problems while working with community partners and potential employers. Ultimately, our goal is for 100% of eligible programs to have a work-integrated learning component by 2030. MacEwan is further supporting students by implementing a new experience record, which allows students to track their co- and extracurricular activities. This tool for students can be shared with prospective employers or other institutions to illustrate their experiences and career readiness. Our goal is to ensure 50% of students have an experience record by 2025, and 100% of students will have one by 2030. MacEwan students have such remarkable stories, and here's just one example, albeit a very cool one. Last year, Bachelor of Social Work students Mitchell Johnson and Kayla Huckster created the Street Outreach and Resource Team to respond to the overdose crisis they witnessed firsthand during their practicum placements and volunteer work. A couple of times a week, these two students packed up snacks, harm reduction supplies, and information on social resources to share with unhoused residents of Edmonton's core. Almost immediately, their team of two grew to over 20 volunteers, people inspired by the project and wishing to help. At times, these volunteers stepped in with naloxone and CPR to save individuals from opiate overdose. From a simple desire to respond to a need, the Street Outreach and Resource Team provides comfort and life-saving care to a very vulnerable population in our community. Our place in O'Daymon, a historic gathering place of Indigenous communities, also calls us to ensure a meaningful and unwavering commitment to reconciliation. Improving access to educational opportunities for Indigenous students is a key call to action stemming from the Truth and Reconciliation Commission's report. There are significant barriers for many Indigenous students aspiring to post-secondary education, and MacEwan is committed to reducing those barriers. In teaching greatness, we recognize the importance of ensuring the demographics of our student body more closely reflect our community, with greater participation from Indigenous and other historically underrepresented learners. A key element of that work involves opening our doors and inviting young students in, so they can experience what a university is like and imagine themselves here long before they make the decision to attend. Recently, Dr. Emily Milne and Dr. Caitlin Toll teamed up to create and launch a pilot project called MacEwan Child and Youth University. Dr. Milne, Dr. Toll, and their student research assistants worked alongside teachers and students at Bencalf Robe, St. Clair Elementary and Junior High School to share a fun and engaging glimpse into university life. And I can tell you, the day they were on campus was incredibly cool. I met a young man at the coffee urn. He kept telling me I'm sneaking some coffee. He was a little wired up. But then he pronounced to me that I'm going to come here. You have coffee. There's a pizza machine. And Dr. Gelmini makes, ice cream. And this is going to be fun. But it was a very, very rewarding day. And it's those moments that make a world of difference. And that's just one example. We've been doing this for a while. In May, as a result of a partnership with Inspire, MacEwan hosted their annual gathering called Soaring. That event filled our halls with hundreds of Indigenous high school kids from across Canada who came to gain a first-hand experience of post-secondary education and to be inspired to chart their own paths for their future careers. I joined a group in the music studio because let's face it, who doesn't want to make noise, make music? But that was a ton of fun. So, and early next year, Kay Watson will host the Indigenous Youth Rising Conference. They've been doing this for years. This two-day event in March will celebrate Indigenous culture, foster connections between young students and Indigenous role models. And this year, the role models will be athletes, basketball, so stay tuned. And when we invite young students onto our campus and into our classrooms, you know what, they can see themselves here. For some, maybe for the first time, and these kids can begin to imagine. It starts with imagining. And that's just one of the barriers. Last year, 6.77% of our student population was made up of self-declared Indigenous students, exceeding our goal of 6%. We would like to continue growing the Indigenous student population, welcoming them to MacEwan and supporting them through their time here. We aim to increase the number of Indigenous students to 8% by 2030, and we're confident that we are on track to meet those goals. So our place in O'Daymon provides meaningful opportunities to partner in support of our neighborhood, however you define neighborhood. when Dr. Oslam Kankaya, I think I see you over there, decided to replace an essay in her class, Bachelor of Early Childhood Curriculum Studies. She replaced an essay with a community engaged project. She had no idea what a dramatic impact that decision would have. She connected her students with C5 Northeast Hub, a community agency which offers a one-stop shop for social supports in Northeast Edmonton. And over the 22 fall term, MacEwan students teamed up to support 6 projects, from helping newcomers navigate the city's transit system to researching food security. The students' passion and drive filled an essential need for the C5 Hub and the people who rely on their services. We have many partnerships, including formal partnerships with groups like the Edmonton Elks, the Citadel Theatre, and the Edmonton International Airport. And these partnerships connect our faculty, staff, and students with spaces and places beyond campus. So the power of a place like MacEwan is really brought to life by its people, those who learn, work, study, and collaborate within it. Our students bring deep curiosity, incredible energy, and a desire to pursue their own paths in life. Our faculty members nurture that curiosity and enthusiasm. They educate, challenge, and mentor our students to find their own greatness. That is why teaching greatness is so much more than the title of our vision. It's our fundamental principle, and in its various ways serves as a beacon that guides our commitment to ourselves, our students, and our community. Teaching greatness requires great teachers. Their expertise and passion for their work brings life and energy to the classroom and sparks interest and ambition in the students they teach. I'm really excited that we hired more than 60 new faculty members over this last year, single largest cohort in recent MacEwan history. And I got to tell you, I was on the phone with a bunch of presidents from across Canada, and they weren't hiring many people at all, so I kind of felt we were special. The other really interesting thing is this hiring is across the academy. It's not just in one faculty, not just in one school. And I got to meet many of the new faculty, and I'm really happy they found a home here at MacEwan as scholars and teachers. Their impact on students in our community will be significant, and I can't wait to see what they bring to our community. I was also pleased to see at new faculty orientation that a lot of the individuals that were now in tenure track positions had a history with MacEwan. They had attachments with us. They had been teaching. They had been part of our community for a while. And guess what? We're going to hire another 50 next year because we need to hire because we're growing. We're actually growing, and we need to be prepared for that. And we also continue to grow the percentage of courses taught by tenure track and tenured faculty members. Our stated goal is to maintain the percentage of associate and full professors teaching first-year courses above 50%. And I'm pleased to report that we have passed that. So, you know, this looks like a data point, but it's way more than that. Many of you have been to a number of institutions across Canada, and I think it's incredible that our senior professors are here teaching first-year classes. Because at a lot of other schools, you know, that's not what they aspire to. Often senior professors aspire to spend less and less time teaching, but that's not how it works here. And that focus on undergraduate teaching and learning is one of the things that powers our place. We hear regularly from students who reference this unique experience as one of the things that makes MacEwan different than other institutions. You know what? We like it that way. Our spaces are also powered by research and scholarly work. The spectrum of topics MacEwan faculty explore is fascinating and vast, from using zebrafish to understand anxiety to exploring social connectedness and resilience among marginalized seniors, to investigating how innovation ecosystems work. This range of scholarly work also benefits our students as they have opportunities to work alongside these researchers as part of their undergraduate education. I've heard some people say that you can get a master's level education here at MacEwan with an undergraduate degree because you get to involve yourself in research. Over this last year, 14 MacEwan University faculty members received more than $4 million in federal research funding across a wide variety of disciplines. And I'm also happy to report that more than 270 students received funding to engage in scholarly activity through research assistantships last year. Many of these students also participate in MacEwan's Student Research Day, showcasing their community-based scholarship, art and design creations, original compositions, and scientific experiments. And I went and I spoke to a lot of students, and I keep seeing a student, I don't remember his name, but what I found interesting is he was a computer science student, but he did a research poster on a classics topic because that was his passion, and computer science was his potential career. But I thought that was very, very interesting. We really do practice multidisciplinarity here. Earlier this year, MacEwan finalized a tactical plan for scholarship to further promote continued growth in scholarly activity, and it focuses on strengthening the quality of our scholarship and pursuing areas of scholarly excellence that will position MacEwan on the local, national, and international stage in a variety of areas. So we have research that covers the span, but we also have some areas that we highlight as areas of expertise. Gender and sexual diversity, urban wellness, social entrepreneurship, and immersive learning. So we are here to grow and inspire the next generation of leaders. What they learn and experience in this place will power their impact on places beyond our campus. They will become leaders in our communities addressing some of our most pressing issues. They will become nurses providing high quality and, most importantly, compassionate care, right, Christy? Compassionate care. They will become artists, designers, and performers bringing their unique creativity to enhance our communities. But before they can do any of these things, they need to feel welcome and supported, and that their time spent learning and studying is of value. So this year, 85% of our graduating students reported satisfaction with their experience at MacEwan. Their time in this place was meaningful and valuable to them. And you know what? Our alumni agree. Our goal was to maintain or exceed alumni satisfaction at 80%, and I'm pleased to report that 89% of alumni reported satisfaction with MacEwan. I don't know if that means you love us more when you're gone. I'm not sure. But I can tell you, as a university president, when you meet alumni, they could be 30, 40, 50 years old. They just get this shine, and they remember their time here so fondly. So, you know, experience here was impactful. They made lifelong friendships, that they grew as individuals, and they've used what they learned. So powered by our place, MacEwan is positioned to achieve greatness, to continue to achieve greatness. And you know, we collaborated, we came up with this vision together. And I can tell you, it's so gratifying and exciting to see the progress we're making, and to see that people here talk about teaching greatness and think about how they individually and collectively contribute to that. We are in a time of incredible momentum, and it's really exciting to be part of that. I hear that when I go out in community. Everybody wants to come work here. Everybody. Well, almost everybody. Powered by our place in downtown, we are attracting attention from government and partners, business, industry, and other post-secondary institutions, all wanting to know about what we're doing and how we're different. And you know what? We're not used to that attention. We're not used to that attention. It's not the way. We've been a humble bunch, but it's time for us to step into our place and our role as a university focused on doing what we do. We provide an exceptional, accessible, relevant, and innovative post-secondary education. So sure, there will be some challenges on our road ahead. Funding, sustainability, that's always something university presidents think about. But I'm really encouraged by our progress to date and confident that our unwavering focus on the goals and directions of teaching greatness will guide us. Our new School of Business building will further power our place in O'Daymon, opening up our campus to the north. Think about it, that's pretty symbolic, opening our campus to the north, and providing opportunities to learn and grow together as a university community. Our students will take advantage of an increasing number of work-integrated learning opportunities to bring what they're learning in the classroom to power our communities. Our alumni population will grow, and they are the best ambassadors, further enhancing our reputation for preparing the next generation of leaders. And our faculty will continue to grow, bringing their passion and dedication to scholarship and teaching to inspire our students. I'm looking at one faculty member right now. I'm not going to say her name. She won't want me to do that. But I know that she tells me how much she learns from students. And I know that probably every new class that wanders in, she thinks is the best class ever. The best class ever. You know what? And it's because this place, our campus, and the power of what goes on inside and outside these walls, what we do and will do here really couldn't occur anywhere else. It's a 7-city campus, fully integrated, that makes it possible for us to do this. It's the power of this place and the people within it that makes it happen. So I'm just going to say this place and all of you, you make it happen. So thank you very much for joining me here today to share in our excitement, and I am pleased to take any questions you may have. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Trimbee. Genuine, I would say. What I have here is thank you for such a compelling address, but thank you for such a genuine and compelling address. Another hand for our president, please. It's clear we've made important strides in the past year, and it's exciting to consider what is yet to come. So as the President said, now we'll turn it over to you. If you have any questions for Dr. Trimbee, please raise your hand and someone will come to you with a microphone. We want to make sure that we can take questions from as many people as possible. So I know I saw at least one more English professor out there, not just me. So take this seriously. We will limit questions to 2 minutes. This is not your conference. And our mic runners will hold on to the microphones while questions are asked. As always, you can also direct questions to president@macewan.ca. And if you don't have the opportunity today, or if you're uncomfortable in asking questions in this setting, please do feel free to use that address. So I'll ask the President to come back to the dais. I'll take I'll take that wandering microphone, and we'll coordinate with the mic runners. This will not be a question about computer science directly, I suspect.
Oh, you have to.
Cam, you weren't listening.
Sorry. Thank you, Dr. Trimbee, for your comments. While the new business building is exciting, there's certainly a sentiment that with the projected student growth, it's still not enough space, and it's obviously several years off. So what are your thoughts in terms of accommodating these students that will be coming and are coming already?
Yeah, thank you for that. And let's look first at the overall plan, 2030. So the new School of Business, I talk about that welcoming an additional 7,500, but we talked about 10,000. So part of what we are going to do to actually meet the needs of our students, and we know that in talking to student leaders, I don't know if is Steph there? No, I can't see him. Anyways, part of this is using hybrid to help us extend the use of our space. So right now we have a number of courses where, for example, you might, instead of doing 3 lectures in person a week, you might have one that's online, asynchronous or something like that. So yes, we have to use technology. And in the interim, Maureen and Craig are very aware not only of spaces for students, and we need to think about some new types of spaces as we're getting ready for the new building that allow for that kind of change in a daily routine where you might be in a classroom and then you need to go, access your computer and do something a little different. And like the rest of us, we're all trying to figure out how to go from that COVID world where we didn't have to get anywhere from A to B to actually figure out how to live in that duality. But in the meantime, we are looking at office spaces, because as you hire faculty, we have to find them spaces. We have the good fortune of having some opportunities relatively close to us, and we are able to secure some of the property just a little bit north of us. So I'm not going to turn that over to the provost other than to say, Cameron, yes, we have a space problem right now. It's like a lot of those new developments. We're going to say we're full before, the school will be full before the neighborhood is built. But part of the solution is to use our space in smarter ways. And we talk about I'm not going to say 24/7 campus, a 12-month campus. I did have somebody suggest we should offer classes in the middle of the night, but I'm not going there. I'm not going there, Ryan, I'm not going there. So yes, this won't solve all of our problems. We need to be constantly on our toes, and we need to be innovative with how we use the space, how we acquire some of the spaces around us. Yeah.
I'm sorry for those of you watching out in the atrium, you didn't see Megan and Cam tussle over the microphone. It was hilarious. Megan or Matt would be happy to hold the microphone for the next question.
Brett.
Thank you, President Trimbee. You spoke a little bit about growing sustainably. With this growth, I definitely understand we're in a growing crisis right now with space.
Yeah.
With student services and campus services, with more students coming, there's going to be a lot more need on our services, and they're already very full right now, and they're getting there. What's your thoughts on that with our growth, and how do we support that?
We absolutely need to keep up investments in student services, and we have been putting more into mental health, more into advising. So, you're the guy that gets all the students to come here, so thank you for that. But obviously, we have to keep up with supports, and part of that is continually checking and understanding just what those needs are. And the needs are great, right? So we can get into some details after, Brett, but I think it's fair to say that we have demonstrably increased investment in student supports, and we will continue to do so, because part of what I've also heard from some people, sure, we want to grow, we kind of like being the same. How are we going to do all the right things in the right order, right? So part of that is hiring the faculty and staff, expanding our space, investing in the right services in the right order. So, I mean, at the end of the day, that's part of what the board holds us to account for. That's part of why we developed a dashboard that shows progress against the vision, and that's part of why we have events like this, because I need to hear from you. I need to hear about the pressures, and it's part of why Maureen and Craig and others are out talking to you all the time about the reality, the practicality of doing these pieces, these tactical plans that serve the strategic plan. So you can have anything you want, Brett. Just go through him first.
Anyone at stage left? Look, from the center, from the right. Matt
There's
hasn't
Nina there.
held the microphone. Who's got a question over here?
Nina's got one. Megan.
Matt, down front for you.
Thank you. You said a lot about like how we take our place in the community, how we define it. It's small, big, very, very different. And we also depart from our humble things and putting ourselves out there and saying who we are. So, but we go out there. Do you have any sense of how that has change things in the community, how they react to us? Are we better known? Are we a go-to place for them? And also, maybe how can we measure that to say, like, yeah, what we are doing right now really makes an impact from the other side to us?
Yeah.
Does it? Yeah.
Yes. Sorry, I digress. I was on a retreat this morning virtually with the Conversation Canada. They publish stories written by our faculty, and we talked about how the consumption of news is going down around the world, and how we used to just talk about how many clicks, and now we have to talk about impact. So obviously we can count interactions with community, but we have to figure out whether those interactions are relevant and whether those interactions are making a positive change. So sure, we have a lot of relationships. We have ways to engage and get a sense of whether these relationships are contributing value. When we strike up partnerships, they should be reciprocal. It should be a two-way street. Do we have sort of an impact indicator for the entire university? No. Do we have some proxy measures? One of the measures in our dashboard is giving from the outside to scholarships, awards, and bursaries, because our thinking is if you choose to give to us, you must think we're doing something good, right? So I got to think about that a little bit more. Obviously we need to go beyond the anecdotal, but I can tell you when I go out, I hear from a lot of people, I didn't know this about MacEwan, I didn't know you did that. I didn't know you had all of these scholars working on all of these things. I didn't know you had expertise in that area. I didn't know it was so easy to work with you. So, you know, that's all positive. You know, that's okay if that's all you got, because I know you know how to find me. I just walk down the hall, you come and say hello. I have the best conversations that way, to be honest with you. And I know, you know, today, it's a time to celebrate, so we do have a reception outside, so I'm good with you. You can just let me go now and come ask me the question you want, like more privately. That's okay too. I'm calling it, Craig.
All right.
Where do we go?
It's just left to me to thank you all for taking the time and joining us today. Once again, remind you that if you did think of a question subsequently, the President would like you not only to ask a question in the hall, but of course think about sending something along to president@macewan.ca. And so, as she said, now if you're able, we'd be thrilled if you're able to join us in the main atrium for conversation. And I don't know about you, I'm looking forward to the refreshments. Thank you.